Filipino gods level the playing field. She goes, oh my gosh, I gotta work out. I'm out of shape. I'm out of shape. Choose me, choose me, choose me. If they don't like your hairstyle, out of the water. Hey guys, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I'm here at Rizal Park in Manila. Give you a shot of Mr. Rizal's monument right behind me. I'm going to start my video today here at the Chinese garden. And the topic for the day is why are so many Americans coming to the Philippines? I think the number one reason that most people give for why Americans are coming to the Philippines is because the women back home are not treating them very well. They are part of the reason, but that's not the reason why they're all here. So my take on it is this, and I'm gonna have to tell you a little story, right? As a young man growing up, in southern Georgia, in high school, the only way to find, a girl you wanted to date, either at school or at a church, at work, with your friends, at sporting events, if you played sports, so you would get into these clubs. And then as you gotten older, it's pretty much the same thing, but you're limited to working now. For the women, their whole life, from the minute that they're born, their parents would say things like, oh, she's so cute, she's so beautiful. And then by the time they're 20 years old, they probably got 10, 20, 30 guys that's waiting for them to choose them. Choose me, choose me, choose me. It's kind of like these little, choose me, I'm the guy, choose me. And here we are again, we're struggling. We're looking for one girl here at the church. We're looking for a girl here at the grocery store. We're looking for a girl at school, Now we got a feelers out there, and hopefully one of them might say, hey Sam, I like you. And then as soon as you see that little glimpse of hope, and you tell your mom, man, I think I found that girl. I found the one that is gonna make me happy. Let's go back to the women's side. They never had to deal with that. And it's all because women has power. They want the right guy, and their whole life they had the opportunity to choose whatever they want. So they've been spoiled. They got money, they got power, and they got men chasing after them because of the tradition. And so they kind of look down on guys. I want this guy that's going to take care of me, but he got to look this way. Do we blame it on what? Why are men leaving the U.S. in droves to come to the Philippines? But today we're talking about almost 10 times more. Why? Why are they coming? I came because the women was pissing me off, right? You're coming because women are pissing you off. The guys that came over before us, or before me, 20, 30 years ago, women was pissing them off. So what changed? What went from, a few old men, and then a lot of older men, then middle-aged men, and now younger men? What changed? What dynamics changed? Because the attitudes has always been there. I'll tell you, this is what happened. Everything changed with the advent of the internet. Everything changed. And this is what I call the Filipino gods level the playing field. Or you could call it the internet gods level the playing field. Now we don't have to go looking for a girlfriend at the mall. We don't have to go looking for a girlfriend at church. We don't have to look for a girlfriend at school. We don't have to look for a girlfriend at work. In fact, we don't even have to deal with chasing women anymore. There's no more chasing women. The women are coming after us. Where in the past, we might have had 5 or 10 women that if we don't catch them, we're out of luck. But with the advent of the internet, you have hundreds, thousands of women around the world that's at your beck and call, and they're chasing after you. And you don't have to spend a single penny. You don't have to be turned down physically. You do it on the internet. That's what I call the equalizer, the internet. Look at all the women that's interested in us, right? Before, we would have to talk to a girl, and that's 1Z, 2Z, 3Zs. Now we could find out a couple thousand, got a couple hundred that says, hey, I really like that guy. And then out of a couple hundred, we could filter it down to 50, whatever amount that you want. And then you can start talking to them. You know, if they don't like your hairstyle, out of the water. If they don't like how plump I am, get out of here, right? In the past, if a girl doesn't like your plumpness, she goes, oh my gosh, I gotta work out. I'm out of shape. I gotta... Just look at the videos. Look at all the men that are with young women around the world. They're not GQ guys. They're not 6'30" guys. They're old and bald-headed men, kind of chunky, and they're walking around with these beautiful young women. Whether it be Filipinas, Costa Ricans, Colombians, Ukrainians, Czechoslovakians, Russians. You tell me, a generation before me, they didn't have all that. They had to hop on a plane and come over here, and hopefully that the girl that they were pen paling, or they saw a few pictures of them, might like them. And that's why there wasn't so many people coming over back then, even though the women in the U.S. was probably treating them like trash already. Now you know the real truth, why there are so many foreigners here. It's not because of the Filipinas and how well they treat the men here. It has a little bit to do with it. I'm talking about the volume of Americans over here. You know, the Filipinos, you know, they traditionally, they will take care of you. And I've made videos on how great Filipinos are, right? I don't need to go into that detail. You can look at some of my other videos for that. But the reason that there are so many Americans in the Philippines, in Thailand, in Japan, is because the internet gives us all the information about the girl that we like. And by the time that we are ready to come over here, they're waiting. They are literally waiting for us at the airport, at a restaurant. It's crazy. The playing field has changed, girls. And the days that the American women who can bully an American man, whether you're 20s, 30s, because you know 20-year-old guys are coming over here. You know, some of them call them the passport bros. You know, it doesn't matter how old they are now. It really doesn't. So get your act together, girls, ma'am, ladies. You're not the only show in town anymore. You're not the only show. You got away with it for at least 50 years of my lifetime. So I don't know who this video is for. Is it for the men that are coming to the Philippines or going to third world countries, going to, you know, I don't call China and Japan third world countries anymore. I mean, they're not. But we're going to Japan because some Japanese lady loves us. I think picking on the Filipinas is something American women love to do. You know, they're far away from the U.S. and they're beautiful. So we have to say, oh, all they want is money. You know, they can't speak English. You know, because their English is not as good as yours. So it's all belittling the people. They're not as smart as us. My gosh, Rezo speaks 3 or 4 different languages. Most Filipinos speaks at least 2 or 3 languages. How many languages does most American women speak? And why are we asking for so many nurses from the Philippines to come to America to work? You know, you're putting your life and your children's life and your husband's life in Filipino doctors, Filipino nurses' hands. So if they're that stupid or incompetent, why are we asking so many of them to come to America? Right? We can't blame the American women for us coming to the Philippines. You could say it's the American women's fault that the men are coming, but that's not the real reason. We just have more choices now, girls. And we don't have to put up with all that stuff that you used to give us. And I could tell you this. There are still a lot of men in America that's going to stay there and put up with your stuff. Why? Because they've been programmed to. But every year, there's more American men leaving U.S. to go to other foreign country because the internet shows us that there are women that appreciate men in other countries, and the world has become a smaller place now. And once they get a taste of the Filipino women, whoo, it's hard to go back, guys. It's hard to go back. And I mentioned it before, the Filipino women just remind me of my mom and my grandmother, how they treated their men. Why? Well, because they weren't working. You know, they weren't out to be the man of the house. They didn't want all that stuff. You know, and if you can't take care of me and give me all that, then go look somewhere else. They didn't have that type of attitude. But we've been trying to look for a different avenue for years since the women's liberation. We just didn't have the tools to find a lot of women. And the internet basically leveled the playing field. You don't have the advantage anymore. A man has just as much advantage over women when it comes to finding a mate as you did pretty much your whole life. So, all right, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day, and that was my chat for the day. Bye-bye.